What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Franchise Empire newsletter, coming to you live for those of you who are watching it live. And if you are watching the replay, welcome. And just let me know, actually, if you're watching the replay, drop a comment and let me know that you're watching the replay. Always curious when people get caught up with it. And today we're going to talk about a low cost cleaning franchise that shows a 4-to-1 sales to investment ratio. And yes, that is good. I'll explain more about that when we get to it. We're going to talk about a resale that's in Illinois, and it shows SDE of $147,000. It was started in 2016. If you don't know what SDE means, we will also talk about that when we get to it. We'll quickly go over a former military couple bought a senior care franchise, and then we'll talk about the latest episode of the Franchise Empire podcast, and we'll dive in. So we're going to hit the resale first. As you guys are watching, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever platform, if you can just press the like button, that would be super helpful. It helps the algorithm show the video to more and more people, and just helps us get exposure and reach, which is appreciated. So let's dive in. So this featured resale is, and by the way, actually, you see that banner at the bottom. For those of you who are not on our email list, you can get these emails in your inbox Sunday morning. So this went out to the people that get our newsletter this Sunday morning. So if you want to just be able to go through this at your leisure, at your comfort, at your pace, and get access to it, as early as Sunday, and not wait for this live stream, go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter, sign up for it, and we'll send you the list. If for some reason you're on our email list and you don't see this, just check like your junk or spam, and make sure that we are waitlisted. All right, cool. So this particular franchise resale, it is called Right at Home. It's an in-home senior care franchise opportunity that provides companion care and personal and specialty care services for the elderly population. They started in 2000, and Right at Home has 497 franchise units, making it one of the largest senior care providers in North America. That's pretty epic. That's huge. So this is in the Southwest Illinois area. The asking price is $500,000. If you're not familiar with financing of resales, a lot of times you can only you can put just 10% down, as opposed to like a new startup franchise where you typically need to put 20% down and then get an SBA loan for the rest. There's actually a couple other ways where you could even possibly get in for no money down if the seller finance that 10%, which could be pretty cool. We have all sorts of videos on funding, so I don't want to make this too complicated. By the way, if you're just joining us, we're diving in. We're talking about the resale. We'll go over the franchise of the week in a little bit. If you have any questions, either about these specific franchises or franchise stuff in general, go ahead and drop your comment in the chat or question, and we'll hit that at the end. All right, so it has SDE of $147,000, right? And this location, by the way, has been around for 8 years. This specific business. SDE stands for seller discretionary earnings. Basically, it's taking the profit that the business makes and then adding back in any other owner's financial benefits, right? So let's say, as an example, on the actual profit and loss statement, it only shows $50,000 of profit. But let's say the owner paid themselves a $90,000 salary through payroll, then it would that would be 50 plus 90 is the SDE. Or let's say they pay their cell phone bill through the business, or their car payment, or, those health insurance, right? Those get added into SDE, seller discretionary earnings. And sometimes if there's a manager, people will add that back too, assuming that you wind up becoming the manager of the business. This specific resale has 2 territories with just under 70,000 seniors. They have obviously a well-established presence in the community with multiple referral sources. I mean, they've been around 8 years since 2016, so I would imagine so. 97% are private pay customers. You may be wondering what's private pay. Basically, that means that it's not like Medicare that's paying for it. It's not like it's these people are paying out of their own pocket, and that's ideal because I believe like Medicare, Medicaid, that sort of stuff has caps. Number one on payment, so I think it's not as profitable. And as you can imagine, anything doing with the government, the reimbursement side of it could probably be a little bit of a pain in the butt. So that's an ideal situation, 97% private pay. And the owner's retiring. I'll tell you what, these resales when an owner's retiring can be really great situations, right? Because there can be just really quality businesses for sale in that instance. So let's see our take on this. Well, Right at Home is one of the franchise leaders in this industry. It's really hard to find open territory because they have 497 units. Most of it is sold. Most of the territories are sold, and especially a resale that's been around since, and that should actually say 2016, not 2014. And owners will need to be compassionate about the space and comfortable managing a larger size team. A team like this, I mean, you have probably a couple of dozen caregivers, I would imagine, for this sort of operation. So you're definitely going to be one of your main roles as an owner is going to be, managing and leading your team. According to the 2023 franchise disclosure document, the average net billings for 350 office locations open at least 1 year was 1.56 million. Wow. In 2023. So clearly, this is a scalable opportunity with recurring revenue elements to this business. And what that means is that okay, this doesn't say what the revenue is. We see what the SDE is and what the asking price. Okay, so if you're interested in learning more about this specific resale, maybe you're in that area. And you'd like to be introduced to this resale opportunity, go to franchiseempire.com/resales. You will be able to schedule a call with our team, who will make sure that you qualify, meet the financial requirements of the franchisor, and then be able to make that connection, as well as support you in the process as you go to look at that opportunity. And maybe for those of you who are anywhere in the country, and you're thinking, hey, I want to know, are there any resales in my area? If so, what's available? What are the specifics to it? Then you can also go to franchiseempire.com/resales. What you'll do is you will enter your info, right? So it will take you to this page here and get started for free. And you'll click on that and it'll ask you a couple different questions. And if you qualify, it will prompt you to be able to book and schedule an appointment directly on our team's calendar. If you're interested in seeing what sort of free sales, what sort of resales are available in your area. Cool. Let's keep rocking and rolling. And again, for those of you just joining, we do this every week. Make sure to hit the like button as you're watching, just to help the video get more exposure here online. This is completely free, us doing this newsletter. It doesn't cost you a dime. The only thing that we ask is just support it by hitting the like button so that the algorithm will pick it up a little bit. And actually share it. Feel free to share the link to this with someone that you think might be interested in specific opportunities. And if you want to make sure that you get these in your inbox, you go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter. You can see that it's scrolling at the bottom. And if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Okay, client case study. So Pete is a prior military, and Caitlin just had their second child. So Pete and Caitlin, and they were in a great position where Caitlin would be able to start full time with the franchise, and Pete would, be helping out part time until he would be able to quit his job too. And what's cool is that their skill sets complemented each other really well. So they were really excited to go into business together. Um, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second from a conversation I just had with someone. The cool thing was that they both had experience in managing large teams. They wanted something that was really more recession proof, and that the business was a need and not a want, right? And so they end up purchasing a senior home care franchise, which is pretty cool. I don't believe it was the one that we just covered, because as I mentioned, they don't have a lot of territory available left. But Pete and Caitlin came in not knowing anything about franchising, trying to figure out if this was really the path they wanted to go. Worked with our team. Our team went through different industries with them, had them do this behavioral assessment to understand their skill set, their experience, worked with them to understand what sort of franchises that, they would even be able to qualify for. And then, was able to then check and see, okay, what are the opportunities that are available in their area that align with their criteria, that align with their skill set. And then we were able to, really help and support them through the due diligence and the vetting process. So, for those of you who really, you know, uh, you want help finding and narrowing down on opportunities. Our team, that's our standard process of what we go through. Um, and we'll bring you back 5 to 10 specific opportunities that we've identified are available in your market. We've done the territory check for you. We know it aligns with your skill sets, your criteria, et cetera. And right now, actually, and I talk about this in the newsletter. So a cool thing. So we have a couple different ways that we work with clients. We have, a path that we work with them in purely a broker capacity in helping to, match make you and helping to get you in front of franchises that align with your criteria. But we have this proprietary system called Zero to Profitable Franchise. And in Zero to Profitable Franchise, it's more than just the matchmaking of the franchise. We specifically help you with 3 things. We'll go out there and find the franchise for you that aligns with your skill sets, budget, and is available in your area. But then it goes a lot farther past that. We really handhold you and support you through the due diligence process. And then if you wind up signing a franchise agreement, we continue to support you and work with you after that so that you can get launched successfully. If you want to learn a little bit more about that system, now the way that it works, we offer individuals a free 2-week trial to get access. There's a whole online curriculum. I run a weekly group call with all of our clients where we can connect and you can ask questions and get to hear the other questions that people are asking that are deeper in the franchise buying process. Some of our franchisees join that call who are already launching their business. There's nothing out there like this, by the way. And so you can just go to franchiseempire.com/ZTPF if you're interested in learning more about that and requesting access through that 2-week free trial. So it's franchiseempire.com/ZTPF. The easiest way to get there on our website is if you're on our homepage, go to services and go to ZTPF franchise acquisition. And that'll take you to it. And then it'll tell you more about what's included in that. And you'll click request access, and then you'll set up a free call with our team. Cool. All right. So let's jump back in and we'll highlight the franchise of the week. So the franchise of the week this week is an opportunity called Made Pro. So Made Pro was formed in 1996 in Massachusetts. They started offering franchises 1 year later in 1997. And the parent company is Threshold Brands, which acquired them in 2020. So let's dive into just some of the base numbers of this franchise. So this franchise has no corporate-owned territories, but they have 238 franchise units. That is quite significant. They have a franchise fee of $45,000, a royalty of 6%. National marketing fee is 2%. Check this out. The investment range is between $100,000 to $130,000. If those of you are not familiar with how funding a franchise works, we have a ton of videos on funding, by the way. and how to fund a franchise. And actually, if you're looking for like a kind of like almost like a little crash course on just the different ways of buying a franchise, kind of funding, etc., on our website here, if you go to Franchise Empire, go to resources. Actually, you got to do it off the main page. Franchise Empire free resources. Click on that, and then go. Actually, you don't even need to do all that. All you got to do is on the front page, go to download our free franchise starter kit. And that's going to give you our Zero to Profitable Franchise ebook, as well as the masterclass video. And that training video is going to break down what are all the different ways you can fund a franchise. There's a bunch. But in this instance, if you did it with, let's say, an SBA loan, you would have to put about 20% down. So somewhere between 20 and, let's call it $30,000, and then be able to get a loan for the rest. This specific franchise is interesting. They only have a franchise term of 5 years. Oftentimes it's 10 years. So there's definitely something that's unique there. Made Pro. Can you guess what it's about? I mean, sounds pretty obvious, right? They offer residential and light commercial cleaning. You'll start your day off by meeting with your employees at your office to make sure everyone has the supplies they need for the jobs that day. Every employee will follow a 49-point checklist at each residence to ensure they are providing a consistent and thorough cleaning each time. As the owner, you will be networking, analyzing your market and numbers, managing your team, creating a good culture, and providing customer service to your customers. It'll take a few months to establish your core group of customers, and then you'll look to grow your business from there. That actually just triggered a thought that I meant to cover a little bit back in this case study that we talked about of our clients, which was Pete and Caitlin, and the fact that their skill sets were going to complement each other in business together. Actually, earlier today, I just recorded a podcast episode with a husband and wife. They have a 7-figure franchise business and a solid team, quality business, and similar situation. Their skill sets complement each other. The husband handles all the operations, and the wife is really like the visionary and oversees like the marketing and the numbers, different things like that. So, that's the cool thing about franchising and just business in general, right? Like working with someone or potentially having a partner or something like that you guys complement your skill sets. If you're looking to go into business with someone that you guys have like the same skill set, you're both good at sales, like that's a recipe for disaster, by the way, in case you're wondering. Or if you're both good at operations, because then no one's good at sales and you guys have a really well-run business, but no customers. Let's break down some of the numbers here that we have. So 2023 gross consumer sales, that were listed in the 2024 franchise disclosure document. And so what we can see here is that all franchise businesses, the average sales is $465,000. Let's start at the bottom. The quartile number 4 averages $146,000 in sales. So that's the bottom 25% of franchisees. You can see the next 25% up averages $300,000. The next 25, so this is top 50% here. Well, in that quartile, $536,000 on average, and the number one quartile, they average $963,000. So the way we came up with that 4-to-1 sales to investment ratio is when you really take about that average franchise performance of $465,000. Well, you're talking about an investment of just $105,000 to $130,000, right? And so that's a good sales to investment ratio overall. And especially, if you want it being, one of the, the higher performers. If we look at the range of sales, highest to lowest, the lowest performer in the system does $51,000 in sales. Highest performer is $2.4 million. In the top quartile, the highest performer does $2.3 million, and the lowest performer in that quartile is $659,000. And then you can see how the numbers play out below. Right, you can see their average number of jobs. They detail a good amount of information in this FDD, actually. So what are some of the benefits of a franchise for this franchisee? Well, there's work-life balance, right? All work is done within normal business hours, and this leaves you with free nights, weekends, and gives you more time to work on your business instead of in your business. So pretty cool. One of the things I didn't know, one of the things I hadn't really considered or realized when we bought our first franchise back in 2015 was that we were buying into a business that was open 363 days a year. We only closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so, as you can imagine, that has an impact, right, on your lifestyle. And so, a business like this, where you're open, you know, only open during the week during normal business hours, that's pretty cool. There's professional recruiting tools. So there's home office talent acquisition manager on staff to help handle employment recruitment, retention, and best practices, as well as Made Pros University training program. So home office, meaning the franchisor has a talent acquisition manager on staff to help you with hiring and employee recruiting, that's huge, because one of the biggest challenges every business will always have is recruiting and hiring talent. Recurring revenue. Over 80% of your revenue comes from customers that are on a recurring basis, right? So you just need to keep customers on the books. And I mean, geez, we've had house cleaners, every house we've lived in for the last 8 years. So that's pretty cool. Having a recurring business, and also recurring businesses tend to have a higher resale value when you go to sell it, because there's a recurring customer base. There's a 24/7 call center with the franchisor. So the cool thing is that the National Sales Center will provide that service for you. Of course, that there's fees that you're paying for that are included in some of the fees you're paying, but that's pretty awesome. So you don't have to worry about the fact that your team's not working nights and weekends, because you know that if you get calls, the call center is going to handle it. And there's flexibility for the franchisee. So Made Pro allows you to use whatever vendors you want, have as many company cars as you want, and does not dictate how many employees are in each job. You are given the flexibility to make these decisions in your business. So a good amount of flexibility there. So for those of you who are interested in this specific franchise, or if you have some franchises in mind and you are curious, hey, is this available in my area? Is my territory that I want available, like my zip code, my city, etc., then go to franchiseempire.com/check territory, and you will be able to answer some questions to make sure that you meet some base qualifications, be able to schedule a meeting with our team. That is no cost, no obligation for that meeting, and we'll be able to see how we can help point you in the right direction in that area. I'm going to drop that little ticker here. Boom. Okay. Last but not least, and then we'll dive into a couple of the questions, is the most recent episode of the Franchise Empire Show. So this was pretty cool. This was an interesting episode. This is a guy that teaches entrepreneurs how to stay digitally organized in their business. And the enemy of clarity is chaos and confusion, especially for entrepreneurs, right? And so this guy will teach you about kind of a systems for misplaced files, and feeling out of control over your email if you have a full email inbox. Pretty cool episode for those of you who feel like, oh man, I got to get my shit together. Then you may want to check this out. And he also was kind enough to provide a free organization guide. You can grab that at thedigitalorganizer.com/franchise empire. And if you want to watch on YouTube, you can click here. You can watch it only on our Franchise Empire YouTube channel. So you'll look that up. Not the one that has my name, but Franchise Empire. And make sure to go subscribe when you go over to there, by the way. Or if you just like to listen to podcasts, like while you're at the gym, you're walking, whatever, you can click this button and you can listen on any podcast platform, all these ones here. And in order to, you might go, well, I wasn't on this email, or, how do I go and click any of these things? Well, you can go to franchiseempire.com. Let's see. You just go to franchiseempire.com and go to free resources, Empire Builder articles. And you can get access to all of the different newsletters we've done. And so this was the one that just went out on Sunday. So you'll be able to, see this here, and see everything that we covered and went over, as well as, the links work for any of that. And then if you're not on our newsletter right here, you'll be able to just enter your information, your email, so that you get these emails every Sunday morning in your inbox. Cool. All right. So we'll dive into some questions now. I'm just going to hand pick a few here. I think I've covered this. I've covered this question a bunch on here, so I'm not going to hit on that one today. Basically, a franchise, you have to follow. You use the company's name, logo. You get to access those things, and you have to abide by their guidance on how you operate the business. A license opportunity, you don't necessarily have to use the logo or anything like that. You may not actually be able to, and they can't tell you how to run your business. You get to just use the marks, meaning like their trademarks, whatever, the way you want to use it. Are you Dave Ramsey style in debt for buying businesses and franchises? No. I mean, the world just revolves around debt. I mean, you got to do it in a smart way, but most people aren't going to be able to pay cash for buying a business. So, yeah, I definitely believe in taking on debt, obviously responsibly. What are the benefits of being a franchisee versus franchisor? Well, franchisor, you are the one that needs to create the system. So if you're someone who's great at figuring it out and coming up with the system, with the processes, all of those things, and you have a proven track record of a business that's been successful and is duplicatable, then you can be a franchisor. If you're like, I don't want to come up with the whole shebang, then generally you're going to be a franchisee. It also takes a tremendous amount of money to properly fund franchising a business and becoming a franchisor. Would you recommend investing in new savvy business ideas that could be the future? I don't know. It just depends on your situation, your financial situation, what your goals are, etc. If you're looking for just cash flow and replacing an income, then probably best by, starting or buying a business. Are there any tax benefits in owning a franchise, like owning your own business or resale business? 100%. Yes, there are. Yeah. I mean, owning any business provides a tremendous amount of tax advantages for sure. So cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great rest of your week. Make sure before you leave, by the way, to press the like button wherever you're watching this, so that it can push this video out to more people. And I look forward to seeing you. We are actually switching. We're going to start doing these Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern time now. Currently, we do it at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So we switch from Monday. We used to do it Monday. Now we do it Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Starting next week, this is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time, this newsletter. All right. Y'all have a great rest of your week.